My Gill, state of corruption. I don't have to tell you that the drug business in this country is bringing in billions, and those billions are buying your public officials and buying your law enforcement and your courts. When have you ever had large areas of drugs being sold with law enforcement hasn't been corrupted? Well, I'm going to show you a way that we can combat this across this country. I want you to know that I'm filing a federal lawsuit against the Banking Commission in the state of New Hampshire. And I believe this is a model across this country. They are helping the laundering of this money. Banking Commissioner Jerry Little was a state senator. Just before he became the Banking Commissioner, he had a bill that got passed that's saying that if you trust the management of a bank or a credit union, you don't have to audit them. Really? So no more audits. Because these are drug banks. I'll show you more. You ready? If you look at a graph, and I'll show it to you. We talk about collecting of the dirty money. These are the street people and working for large organizations, bringing in billions in each of our states. And what do? They bring their money to lending institutions, financial institutions. And then what do? They transfer it to bigger banks, offshore. And that money comes back in manufacturing buildings, luxury assets, financial institutions, commercial, industrial buildings. For instance, in my state, Dick Aganos, Cruz and Griner own Auto Fair, the largest car dealership in New England. He is the largest real estate holder in the state. And I'm certain it's like this in every state. They're showing you the model. Now let's take a look. Is it beyond us to understand? For instance, HSBC, one of the largest lending institutions in the country, got trouble for money laundering. Wachovia, for money laundering. What are they saying? $378 billion. So it goes on every day. In my state, it's the credit unions and the drug bank, primary bank, what are quite literally owned by the drug dealers, which Jerry Little now won't audit. You see how it works? So we're going to sue the banking department. They've been leveraging me with fake consent orders. You've seen Little corruption. And I told them I'm putting him in jail. No, don't shake my fucking hand. I'm going to put you in jail. But this is how. Think about this. Glenn Perlow was the previous banking commissioner. He was an assistant AG. He worked for McLean Law Firm previous as an insurance defender. When does that make him an expert on banking? I'm the one who gave him a Ponzi scheme when he was the AG. I made him the banking commission because he had to cover up that information. You know where this guy is now? He's working for Prospecta Trust. It's an institution in New Hampshire with $8 billion in assets. No shit. Now you think about this. Isn't that what the graph says? And they come back? This is a complete pattern. We know the pattern. You don't have to go after the banks and drug dealers. You go after the people protecting the laundering. You go after the banking commission in each of our states and say, audit that bank, audit that credit union. Where'd they come up with the extra billions? Right? That's how we do it. I am going to have you follow this lawsuit. I am going to have you there when I file it. You see Jerry Little in an interview with me? What do you think he's going to look like in a deposition? I am telling you, this is the means. If all you have to do is believe that these banks, that are national banks, large banks, some of the largest in the country, were guilty of laundering, you don't think these guys, credit unions and the banks here in this state, would do the same as they would in yours? Of course. And that's it. You've seen the means of the method. I'll post the graph so you get to see how it works. Tell me how it's not working in your state. We follow this and sue the banking departments in each of our states. I am telling you, we'll break down the laundering and you'll find the drugs. You'll find the dealers. And again, people under the age of 50, The leading cause of death is addiction now. I mean, is this worth our attention? How many more people have to die? And how many more billions have to be made to make it impossible to this fight? They bought your politicians. They bought law enforcement. They bought the judges. I'm telling you, I've uncovered it and exposed it. Mike Gill, State of Corruption.